Hey folks, I want to take a minute and walk you through the mechanics of doing the workshop practice assignment. This assignment is especially important because we're going to be doing quite a few workshops in our class, and they might work a little bit differently than what you've seen before. So we begin by coming to the workshop practice page. And the first thing we're going to want to do is read the directions. So you'll find an introduction that specifies you are going to do a post and 2 peer responses. Then you will come down here and read the directions for the post. So for just this practice assignment, we're all going to work from the same essay. And what we want to do to start is post a copy of that essay. So we're going to first get a copy of that essay by following this link. And we're going to copy and paste everything. So we've copied this. Now we go back. And we're going to scroll down to the reply button that you guys have used before. And we're going to paste a copy of the essay in there. And then click post reply. Okay, the next thing I need to do is post my response to this essay. Normally you would be doing this for each other's papers, but for this first assignment, as I said, we're going to all be working from the same essay. Okay, so what do I have to do if I'm providing a response? Well, I need to read the paper, write a summary of the paper, identify the thesis, outline the paper, identify any transitions that I find difficult, review the body paragraphs, look at any sentences that are difficult to follow or ones that work particularly well, and then finally pay attention to MLA format. And I'm going to use this organization to make sure that I'm following my steps. So I go down to the essay that I've just uploaded and I reply to my own post. And the first thing I do is paste in these headers. And now I'm going to start to copy and paste some content that I've pre-generated in here. So we'll begin with the summary. And then we will copy and paste in the thesis. Next, the outline, which we've created simply by grabbing the thesis and then the topic sentence of every body paragraph. Now we're going to start talking about the transitions. This is where I'm going to start to talk about what I've seen as a reader. Next, we'll talk about any patterns in terms of support and analysis in the body paragraphs. Next, sentences. Correct that misspelling. And then finally, MLA. And now that I've got everything, I can simply post it. Or if you want, you can go through and make it look a little fancier by using headers to organize the various pieces, which would actually be pretty nice. We want to make sure these were all set to the same heading level. And we want to pick the biggest heading level we can start with, which in this case is heading 2. So we select post reply, and now I have the response. This would typically take somewhere between 45 minutes and maybe longer than that. Now, we go back to the directions to see what the next step I need to do is. And I look down here and I find that it talks about the response. So I need to read the feedback provided by 2 classmates and write a 1-paragraph response to each classmate. In that paragraph, I'm going to identify the observation that I would find most useful if I were the author of the sample essay and why I'd find it so. So what I would do is I would read over response from a classmate, I would click reply, and then I would write a paragraph talking about which one of these observations I think is most useful and why. I would do that twice, and then I would be done with this assignment. I hope that's cleared up the mechanics of the practice workshop. The steps you're going to go through for the actual workshops are going to be remarkably similar, except you will simply be providing 2 sets of responses to 2 drafts that your classmates upload. You're not, of course, going to all be working on the same paper. Please let me know if you have questions, and I look forward to hearing from you.